Hey everybody. Hope you're staying inside, staying safe. This is our next little review video for topics about the Cold War. We will also have posted today our second e-learning assignment. So pretty much the same format as last time. This time though, I made sure that there's a 3 sentence limit for each response. So make sure you're building up those responses a little bit more than some of us did the first time. That being said, we talked about China yesterday and its fall to communism, the CPC being the Nationalist Party, and how that was a failure in America's mindset, right? Containment, keep communism where it is. Did that work in China? Not really. We'll talk about another topic that we created a comic book for, the Cuban Missile Crisis today, and understand what happened there. A lot of the big players in today's lesson are on our screen. On the left there, we have John F. Kennedy, President of America. In the middle, we have Fidel Castro, the leader of Cuba, the island just off the coast of Florida, less than 100 miles, I want to say. And on the right there, we got Nikita Khrushchev, the leader of the Soviet Union. And all three of these people will appear quite often in our story today. Now, the relationship between America and Cuba is not exactly the best one. We had a communist takeover in Cuba led by Castro, and as we know, it's the Cold War, so the spread of communism is met with great kind of fear by America. So Cuba was actually kind of cut off and kind of denied diplomatic relations with America. And it even kind of catapulted in early Kennedy years this instance called the Bay of Pigs, where the U.S. actually authorized and helped to coordinate a revolution in Cuba to overthrow Castro. This did not work and go well, so the tension between both sides had increased all the more dramatic, which is just a little background for what we're getting to next, which is a scary photo. Ooh. Um, Obviously, this photo doesn't mean a whole lot to me because I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but it's a spy photo taken of Cuba by the Americans. And when you zoom in, what they found in 1962 was, I'm sorry, 1963 is when this will lead into, that there are missile sites being built in Cuba. What kind of missiles will these sites hold? Nuclear missiles. And where are they coming from? Our rival, the Soviet Union. That's right, we got the Soviet Union trying to put missiles into Cuba. And here's why. Because at a moment's notice, these could then attack all sorts of sites in America. There'd be very, very little time to respond if the Soviets launched an attack from Cuba, simply minutes. Now, this is done in response to America doing somewhat similar things. America had placed nuclear weapons in the countries of Italy and Turkey, which were very close to the Soviet Union. So the Soviet Union wanted to do something similar. But America can't sit back and let Cuba get these weapons. Many in the military calling for invasion of Cuba, aerial bombings, which would lead to World War III, no questions asked. So Kennedy has a very delicate situation. You can't leave the missiles there, but attacking Cuba would lead to war. So he calls on a blockade, or as he'll put it, a quarantine. Basically, deny anything entering Cuba. You will not be allowed into Cuba in 1962. That's what we see here. Sorry, I said 1963 earlier. Quarantine's getting to me too. So basically, the island of Cuba will be cut off by American ships. If any Russian ship tries to approach this line, it will be an act of war by America and we will have conflict. And for 13 days, the world holds its breath. Finally, there's a decision made to remove the missiles from Cuba in exchange for the American missiles being moved from Turkey and Greece. I'm sorry, Turkey and Italy. This is kind of criticized by many at the time, but in reality, this is actually a amazing diplomatic achievement to avoid war. This video here does a nice little job going through this event as well. So if you want kind of a different approach to it, a different kind of idea, feel free to give this video a look. Please remember to get that e-learning assignment in today as well. And as always, let me know what questions you have. We do not have any e-learning on Friday, so I'll see you again on Monday. Take care.